Well, good morning, everyone. This is the new moon ceremony in Pisces. Actually, it's the new moon is officially tomorrow, but we are meeting in preparation under the dark moon. And as always, I like to invite you to get comfortable. We will be doing some meditating. Make sure you're got your journal handy for our freeform writing, and a candle if you have one. If not, I have one that I'm going to light for the collective. And under this special circumstance, I will be opening up our ceremony with some thoughts and healing prayers for our brothers and sisters and all sentient beings in Ukraine. And alternatively, if any of you have any prayers that you want me to also recite, I can do that as well. You can just put it in the chat. Otherwise, I will continue with the prayer that I have already organized. So if everyone is comfortable, I'm going to open up our ceremony by lighting the candle. And as I light this candle, I'm going to gaze into the flame, holding space for us all in the collective. So let me begin with a poem. I can't make this world peaceful. I can't stall tanks from roaring down roads. I can't prevent children from having to hide in bunkers. I can't convince the news to stop turning war into a video game. I can't silence the sound of bombs tearing neighborhoods apart. I can't turn a guided missile into a bouquet of flowers. I can't make a warmonger have an ounce of empathy. I can't convince ambassadors to quit playing truth or dare. I can't deflect a sniper's bullet from turning a wife into a widow. I can't stave off a country being reduced to ash and rubble. I can't do any of that. The only thing I can do is love. Love the next person I encounter without any conditions or strings. To love my neighbor so fiercely that it starts a ripple that stretches from one horizon to the next. I can't force peace on the world, but I can become a force of peace in the world, because sometimes all it takes is a single flame from a candle to comfort this world, to start a movement. Lord, make me a candle of comfort in this world. Let me burn with peace. That's by John Rodel. So, what to wish for during this Pisces moon phase? This Pisces new moon is a powerful time to go within for introspection. And yes, we know there's been a lot of transformation over the last few years, and this is a good time to step back in order to digest it fully so that we can better plan for the next steps ahead. This moon can also be a time for us to see the best in people and in the world around us. But we know idealism can be misplaced, as we may not see things in complete truth. An illusion can be clouding our eyes as we see things how we wish to see them instead of how they are. So this time has come for us to move away from fantasy and in the direction of being authentic. So the qualities of Pisces, which is a water sign, are empathetic, sensitive, and imaginative. So I'm going to be leading you through a guided meditation. What we'll focus on is mindful communication, so that you become a better listener and in turn feel like you are being heard. And setting boundaries, so you release the need to take on other people's drama. And slowing down, so you allow time to be present and release the need to rush through your day. So Pisces governs elusive states, confusion, sleep, fantasy, imagination, and chaos. But it also steps into joyful states of internal happiness, bliss, ecstasy, and universal love. It also governs psychic sensitivity, which includes gentleness, awareness of subtle energies, mystic states, and harmlessness. Also, resilience on a higher power, surrender, trust, spiritual awareness, and channeling of spiritual power. Spiritual healing, meditation and yoga, desire for inner peace, angelic assistance, quiet time, spiritual purification. Unconditional love, forgiveness, understanding, non-judgment thinking, tolerance, acceptance, compassion, and acknowledge oneness. The shadow side of Pisces is victim mentality, defeatist attitudes, procrastination, panic attacks, deception, addictions, and disappointments. Let's just drink that in. And as with every sign, there is an element, and Pisces is the water sign. So watery can be emotional, but also looking at the qualities of water, which are nourishment, healing, letting go. So during the meditation, we'll focus on the healing powers of water. And we know that Pisces is the sign of the fish. You've seen the sign of the two fishes, one swimming up water, one swimming down water. Seems like they're pulling in opposite directions, and I think that's what we've just heard about with Pisces. It's pulling into the elusive state, but then also the other one is pulling down towards the earth. And why are we meeting on the new moon, or why am I doing these new moon ceremonies? I've been doing them now for a year. In our Western societies, there's a tendency to just keep going and charging through life and not allocate special days to go within and be quiet and set intentions. So the new moon is a time to be still and quiet under the dark moon. We can shine at the full moon, but during these dark moon phases, it's an invitation to sync with the cycles of the moon, as our ancestors did. And as women, we're closely connected to the element of water and all the other elements, but also to the cycles of the moon. There's no mistake that there are 29 days to the cycle of the moon, just as when we bleed. And for those of us who are no longer bleeding, we are still affected by the cycles and the pull on our body. And as women who don't bleed anymore, it is our time to spread our wisdom. Our ancestors would gather under the moon and hold circle and hold council and be guided by the phases of the moon. So here we are in 2022, bringing back this wonderful ancestral wise ceremony in order that we can serve ourselves and for those around us, grounded, resilient, rested, so that we can shine on the full moon. So if you're comfortable, I'd like to now guide you through the meditation. And for those of you who joined late, if you have a candle, you can light it now, otherwise I've already lit one. And if you have your journal and pen handy for after the meditation. So sitting or lying comfortably, feet firmly planted on the ground, or resting your spine on the ground if you're lying down. If we could begin to gently focus in on the breath. And just noticing how your breath feels today. Is it shallow? Do you have any tension anywhere in the body? Bringing the attention to your breath now. Letting that cycle of the inhale and the exhale wash down your body as in the healing power of water. Breathing in through the nose, letting that breath come on the backside of your body up to the crown of your head. And then on the exhale, let it cascade down through the front body. And we'll do 2 more cycles. Breathing in through the nose, grounding through the sit bones, letting the breath travel up on the backside of your body. the top of your head, the crown, and then on the exhale, let it cascade on the front side of your body. And last time, breathing in. All the way to the top of your head, the crown, and cascading down the front of your body. And as we imagine the element of water, knowing that we are made up of 70% water. We can't live without water. Recognizing the healing element, the ebb and flow, the purification, the nourishment. Bodies of water that we may live by, the roaring ocean with the turquoise turbulence, the rivers, the streams, the lakes, the waterfalls. The peaceful element of water, where we may sometimes go to visit in times of trouble, to sit and watch the ripples, the tides pulling in and out. Element of water, let us release and flow so that we may be present and not hold on. May we move fear, anxiety through our bodies and be a vessel of love and light and compassion. And ignite the flame in our hearts for ourselves, our families, our friends, our brothers and sisters, all sentient beings, the trees, and drinking all that in. Imagining yourself now sitting by water. Is there a favorite river or stream or ocean that you go to? Maybe you haven't been there for a while. But take yourself there and sit comfortably. Maybe you want to gaze out to that body of water and watch the waves coming in and out, or the water trickling on a stream our waterfall, powerful. Send all your worries and fears and anxiety into that body of water. And let it transcend into love, compassion, healing. Enjoying the space between my words. Oftentimes we feel uncomfortable with silence, but it's the space between the words, the time that you allow yourself so that you're not rushing from one thing to the next. Time to imagine, daydream. And Pisces governs empathy. To truly listen to a person without judgment or offering a solution, but to truly be there. And to feel in return that you're being listened to without judgment. It takes practice. But to be truly empathetic is so powerful. And Pisces also governs sensitivity. Have you been told you're too sensitive? Take on too much? Do you feel everything? Are you setting boundaries so that you can be loving and compassionate and empathetic? Do you need to turn off the news and move your body, move the emotions through your body? Dance with them, heal them, sing, drum, walk in nature, whatever it takes. And how can you raise your compassion for yourself and for those around you? How might you do that? Using this body of water that you're sitting by, and let it nourish you. as you pick yourself up from the beach or the stone that you've been sitting on, or maybe you were standing in front of a waterfall. Give thanks to the element of water for releasing and letting go, and thanking the body of water for the ebb and flow that is a natural movement in water, as it is for us under the moon phases. And see yourself walking away from the body of water and bringing yourself back to this space and this moment in time. And when you're ready, ever so gently bring yourself back. And we'll spend the next 20 minutes or so writing. So, the first question is, are you really listening? Are you really listening? Maybe during the meditation there was a situation that came up for you, past memory. So we'll spend the next 5 minutes. Are you really listening? And do you feel you're being heard? So there's 2 parts to that question. Are you really listening? And are you being heard? Okay, next question. Are you ready to release the need to take on other people's drama? Are you ready to release the need to take on other people's drama? And I included the poem in the chat, by the way, that I read, for those of you who are asking. When I opened up my journal, there was a message: listen with an open heart and an open mind. So are you setting boundaries? If not, you're welcome. If not, are you willing to start today setting a boundary so that you're not taking on the world? 5 minutes. wrapping that last question up about setting boundaries. If you have anything you want to share, you can use the chat. I know for me, I've been limiting my time on social media. And being in nature. And immersing myself in music, the healing power of music. How have you been coping during this last week? You can use the chat if you want to share anything. How are you setting boundaries for your health? Being a source of strength for others, yes. But taking time for your own health in turn. Yes, reading high vibration books. Yeah. Yes. Love is the highest frequency. So being a source of love for ourselves first and for our loved ones, absolutely. And the final question is, are you allowing time for yourself to slow down during your day and release the need to always be pushing from the moment you get up to your head hits the pillow? Are you taking time out? And if not, are you willing to? How can you? Can you create a plan? Can you carve out 10 minutes in your day just to get away and be present and breathe? Write about that. How can I slow down and allow time in my day and release the need to constantly push? 5 minutes. couple of minutes. I'll wrap up that last question. Then I have a group intention card that I drew this morning in preparation. And if anybody has anything to share in the chat regarding that last question, how can I slow down and make time during my day to release the need to constantly push? I know for me, I have set time limits on my apps. It's been a big help. Yes. Stop and slow down and breathe. Even 2 minutes makes a huge difference. So our group intention, and I would also invite you to write your own intentions for this month. The new moon is in about 24 hours. So we're preparing to set our intentions, and this is what our exercise is today. So by writing them out tomorrow around this time, right at the new moon, or eight hours after the new moon. But this is our group intention card that I pulled this morning. I transmit a frequency of love that honors the creator of life and all that is, facilitating source energy transfer among and between all sentient beings. My intention is to be a bearer of light energy and the creator of all life, and through my actions I seek to heal and support all forms of life. My intention is to be a bearer of light energy so that I can support all forms of life.
Thank you. Have a great day, everybody. Good to see you, Vanessa.
So I just did a couple of announcements before we wrap up. The full moon is on March 18th in Virgo, which is the opposite sign to Pisces. And the next new moon is April 1st, which is a Friday, and that's in Aries. And for those of you who'd like to go a little deeper with the moon phase, I'm going to start a new class next month at the new moon, and it's going to be attuning to the moon phases. It'll be a 29-day journey where you'll get journal prompts and poetry, and we'll meet on the new moon and the full moon, and maybe at the quarter moon too, with journal prompts and check-ins. So I will be sending some information out on that in an email, because there's so much more we can do and use the moon phases to achieve the life we want, set things in motion, tie loose ends up, whatever it is for you. But yes, 9 a.m. April 1st for the next new moon. Yes, in Aries. We've been doing these for one whole year. Who remembers when I first started this in, April of last year is when we started doing the new moons. So thanks everyone for being here today under this tender time in our world. But by meeting in community is a source of love and compassion for ourselves, just to take this time, and for those of us who are in our life, and that we continue to pour love and compassion in our world for our loved ones, and especially for ourselves. We're to take care of ourselves first, right? Yeah. So let's be a source and a vessel of love and compassion, and take care of ourselves in the process. See you next month.